Hello, this is Darcy, and I'm Andrew. We are East Coast DNA Podcast. With us today is Jordan Mackie. Hey, Jordan.
How you doing?
Good. Darcy was just mentioning there before we started. 18 Jacks has something coming out this weekend, you said?
Yeah, 18 Jacks just had the single out on Friday, Avril Lavigne, which was timely. I think this is a song that they've had for a while.
They're holding on to that one.
But they didn't release it, so I don't know if it was related to the concert that just happened. But it seemed like it was timed appropriately.
They're waiting to be invited to open for Avril Lavigne, probably.
Yeah, it's a very catchy one too. It's got all like references all the way through, like from her song titles and stuff. So
yes,
it's kind of fun for anyone that knows it topically.
Yeah, and our mid-cut song today is going to be from Avery Dakin. She's a local songwriter, and she's going to be bringing her band this week on Thursday, June 16th to the Carlton, and she'll be there with the High Tides and Tevin Tynes. We're going to play one of her singles in the partway through this episode.
And anyone that's been to the Carlton knows it's a wonderful venue, but if you haven't been, it's built perfectly for the acoustics for a performance, so you're not going to see a bad show there.
And Avery has like a powerful voice. The music is kind of pop meets R&B kind of style, and that's why I picked this episode to drop that, to kind of fall in with Mackie style a bit, same kind of family of music.
Mm-hmm.
And this week on Friday is the Bandcamp Juneteenth thing that we talked about in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys want to maybe check that out, the proceeds go to the fund that we spoke about. We talked about all that last episode.
NAACP, I believe?
Yeah. So that is happening this week. And we mentioned it last week to get a head start. So you held on to your songs. Now remember, check that wish list and go in on Friday and buy those songs.
Yes, I kind of was spoiled the last month where, you were with me at the Propaganda show and we both left with buttloads of merch.
Yeah.
And then I was out to see Matt Steele and Alex McNeil the other night too, and I drug home a lot of Matt Steele stuff with me as well.
Yeah.
You might see some of it in the corner of the frame there when we get Mackie on here too. Some of it's up on the wall. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff. So I'm going to have to go back through my Bandcamp wish list and see what I didn't just buy in the last 4 weeks.
Exactly.
And maybe when we talk to Mackie here, she'll tell us a few other releases that we can keep an eye out for. And this episode's out 2 days before the Juneteenth Bandcamp.
Yes. And so Mackie, we know about you. Darcy's interviewed you in the past, but you haven't been on this show.
No.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what makes you tick?
For sure. All right. So my name's Mackie, aka Jordan Mackie. From beautiful Pictou County. Started writing music at the age of 12. Playing drums at 13. Dabbling guitar a little bit. At the age of 17, I fell in love with hip hop. I realized because I didn't think I had a good singing voice, so I'm like, maybe I can try hip hop. So anyways, fell in love with it. Started writing, started performing. My first performance when I released my first thing on YouTube, I was a finalist, and I flew down to LA for the contest, so that was really cool.
Oh.
I've done a lot of work with a lot of local artists. I've done work with like Mercules. I've opened for Mercules, Mad Child. I've performed at Hopscotch, Evolve, Future Forest. So I got a little bit of a resume there, and definitely looking forward to what the future has to hold.
Yeah.
I'm also in the process of starting my own business, where I offer in-house as well as direct-to-door recording services. So my company's called Mackie's Mobile Studio.
Oh, perfect.
Check it out.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit of that in a minute there too. So you've been in the game for about 7 years then? 8 years?
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. So this mobile studio thing, when did you start looking into that and why? Was it a COVID baby or is it?
It was definitely a COVID baby. It was back when there was still a lot of lockdown restrictions. And anyways, I got the idea. I'm like, well, I know for myself as an artist, when I was first getting into music, it was like my biggest issue was finding somewhere I could record, actually getting the work back, and then and then just the quality, and you know what I mean? Like before, like my first couple times, like when I was living in Pictou County, I either had to drive up to Halifax to record or way up to Sydney, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got thinking, I'm like, you know what I mean? As a musician, nothing's worse than when you want to record. You just write a brand new track and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. I need to record this, right? And then you can't.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to solve. I'm trying to solve that problem to bring the studio directly to the customer in a rural area, or, you know, somebody that has maybe mental or physical limitations or disabilities, and maybe they don't feel comfortable in a normal recording atmosphere environment. So I could come into their home and, you know, we could record their project in the comfort of their living room, essentially.
So you're not doing like a van recording studio. You're doing a bring it to your home recording setup.
I'm actually planning on doing both. Just for right now, I built and designed like a portable booth. And I actually went over to PEI to record my old music partner, Explicit, her project that's going to be coming out to Exit the Premises. So that'll be coming out this year. But yeah, the goal is to to get like a van so that I can renovate it and then, you know, have, you know, record in the driveway or whatever, have the studio on wheels.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm a paramedic, so I might be able to find you an old ambulance. No,
Yeah.
They don't let us take the old ambulances.
That would be sweet. You get her hopes up. I could see it in her face.
Yeah,
She lit
literally.
right
I'm like,
up.
what? For real? Yeah.
I could find out what they do with them. We lease them, but I could find out what they do when they're done with them.
You know what? Definitely
I'll
do
check into that.
and
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
That would be awesome. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Mackie, is outside of your music career, we don't get into this too often with too many of the guests we have on, but it's something I personally, when I've been talking to friends and family and fans of the show and stuff, when they're talking to guests and everything, one thing that people find really interesting too is all the effort that you have to put in to write your songs, and you're promoting yourself, like you're producing your own stuff now, and now you're trying to help other people. But on top of that, one thing that gets missed in some of these interviews is you're trying, you're looking for support. We're trying to help promote you. We got shows coming up. Everyone's coming out, but you also have a full-time job. So that's an extra struggle for artists, independent artists in the region, is that we have limited options around here for jobs. So everyone's trying to work full-time, and then you're doing a full-time job for music on top of that.
Yeah, I'm actually, well, what happened with that was I was doing my apprenticeship through my uncle. Unfortunately got diabetes and lost his leg.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually not doing mechanic work right now. I'm focused fully just 100% on the music business.
Okay, that's one thing I wanted to get at. Is
Yeah.
I knew you were doing some mechanic stuff, and it just seems that you suddenly have a spontaneous spurt of you're everywhere that I look all of a sudden, because I knew who you were, so you would stick out. But the Halifax series that we just had online there not long ago,
Emerge.
yeah, like Good Dear Goods, like people that we mentioned constantly on the podcast. We've interviewed a couple of members,
Yeah.
and they were on there, so I was aware of it, and I was checking out other people. I'm like, oh, look, Mackie's on there. I know her.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then I see the Glasgow Square show coming up, and you've got the mobile studio. I've seen that advertised on Facebook and everything. So, like, you're keeping really busy.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely keeping busy. That's for sure. Yeah.
Is it, with the effort that you're putting in now, are you getting close to supplementing the income that you lost from not doing the mechanic stuff for now, or you're just... You're doing enough to keep going that it's worth.
I'm doing enough to keep going that it's worth it. Honestly, like the thing is, for what I want to do, you know what I mean? There's a lot of capital. You know what I mean? Like this all costs money. If you go online and you want to order 2 acoustic panels, you're looking at $400. So instead of doing that, I actually just went online, figured out how to DIY them, and I'm just gonna do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
Egg curtains everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew can talk more about like stuff that we've done, but like the studio that you're seeing from where you're sitting right now, where I'm at, this is all patched together, used equipment and DIY stuff that I just figured out how to put it together and make it work. So it's the same kind of concept.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Well, like honestly, yeah, like the portable booth that I designed, the frame's literally built out of PVC pipe, and then it's big, heavy 12-pound U.S. cargo blankets,
Sweet.
right? So, and then it's shower curtain hooks.
Yeah.
And so it's all kind of, you know what I mean? And
That
then
works, though. Yeah.
some magnets that but you know what I mean? Honestly, when you step inside, you can hear the difference. You know what I mean? Like immediately. So, like my idea is to, obviously I'm not claiming to be a professional studio. What I am claiming to do is, be a semi-professional recording studio where I offer, direct to door as well as in-house recording. Obviously, right now, if you come in-house, I have more there. It might be a better sound, but down the road when I actually get the the van or the utility trailer and renovate it out, right, then I'll have the studio on wheels and it'll be a whole different story. You know what I mean? But just to offer that accessibility, you know what I mean, for studios, because some people don't have vehicles, some people don't have access to public transit. You know what I mean? So that's sometimes a really big issue too in getting to the studio and stuff, right? As well as I'm not gonna say I'm like cheap or anything like that, but I would say that I'm reasonably fair. Like I'm a fair price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the quality that you're getting, right? So, but yeah.
Bringing people options that they wouldn't have otherwise. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I teamed up with a couple producers there, Blossom Complex for one, and Nookie Beats up in Cape Breton. Yeah, so I have them, and they're doing the final mix and master on the production side of things.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're finishing it off.
Yeah,
they're going to finish what you started. Yeah.
I'm learning it. I'm learning it. I get it prepped for them, you know what I mean, and do a pre-mix. But
I'm assuming they let you hang out while they do the mastering a little bit.
No,
remote. Send it to them.
It's remote, and I send it to them and communicate anything that the customer may want done, like if they want a certain spot, like a drop or reverb, add it to this vocal effects, or a delay here, you know what I mean. So there's a little bit of middlemaning. Like I contract out work to a few artists there, so it ends up
makes
working
it sustainable too.
Exactly.
If you want to have growth, if it takes off and you're able to get some good work coming out of it, more people want you, then you're able to keep
delegate.
If you can delegate enough of it and be that person that's orchestrating it all, then you've got a little media empire.
Oh yeah,
like you're a step away. You just need
sure
these ones that you're working with now, and the stuff that's coming out. As soon as a few things go, like it's awesome, and especially that you can do it everywhere. That's one of the things with the podcast, with Jam Sessions podcast as well, and with this podcast, was especially for myself. I remember being younger and all my friends were musicians, and if they had a mobile studio and an all ages festival, then maybe some of them would be musicians today instead of giving it up when they were 14, 15 because they did one show and it was okay.
That's it. No, big shout out to Jay the Kid for putting on Summer Hip Hop Takeover 2022, happening on July 5th.
It's Glasgow Square.
Yeah, at the new Glasgow Square. You can get your tickets right now. I'm assuming they're gonna sell out pretty quickly. It's gonna be a very popular event. There's a lot of young up and coming talent on this. We got French, we got C Stone Leon, we got Little Keith, we got Young Jer. So there's a lot of good acts on this. Myself as well as Jay the Kid. Big respect to him. He actually dropped his first single last year, and the way that he marketed it was, you know what I mean, for somebody his age, I just thought it was really incredible, you know what I mean. So I've had my eye on him ever since he's done that, right? So definitely really excited to get working with him, and it's gonna be a great show, all ages. So you know what I mean, everybody come out, bring your kids, you know. Tickets are $20 in advance and then $25 at the door. So I definitely recommend getting your ticket in advance, especially considering it might sell out too. So
perfect.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a break here for a moment and
sure.
listen to Avery's single we mentioned earlier. The song is called Self-Preservation, and we'll be back in a moment.
drag this out any longer. 'Cause sometimes shit don't work out. It don't have to be no one's fault. Let's just chalk it up to timing before everything falls apart. 'Cause I'm feeling the need for stability and peace, and I get all of that from me. I don't need your help. I don't need strength from someone else. I built that all by myself. Just need a warm sunny day, my puppies and a J, a couple good friends and some music to play, a bed to stretch out in, a space to be true, and none of it will ever depend on you. Keeping me protected, keep my head clear, truly unaffected by what you're bringing here. Nowadays I'm giving up a bit less, staying in my own lane, avoiding the stress. Is it selfish of me? Is it self-preservation? Yes. Finally know what I want. I can see what is and what's not. This time I'm loving much smarter. Love myself, love my path, love pushing farther. And when I come home to me and see that everything's in its place, no one to turn it upside down, clutter up my brain. 'Cause I'm feeling the need for a love without defeat, one that never makes me bleed. And it's here inside, comes from me, myself, and I am holding on to that light. Feels like a warm sunny day, my puppies and a J, a couple good friends and some music to play, a bed to stretch out in, a space to be true, and none of it will ever depend on you. Keeping me protected, keep my head clear, truly unaffected by what you're bringing here. Nowadays I'm giving up a bit less, staying in my own lane, just doing my best. Is it selfish of me? Is it self-preservation?
And welcome back once again. That was Avery Dakin, Self-Preservation. Check her out at the Carlton. Well, tomorrow night, if you're listening to this episode, it came out June 16th, and
Yes.
we'll have a link to the event in our show notes or in the comments on YouTube. So
We're
look down
keeping
there.
everyone busy. We should
Yeah.
have a companion playlist on Spotify and YouTube to go along with this, which I will talk to you, Mackie, about that before you leave, so we can
Cool.
get some names in there. And the show itself, this show, everyone's going to spend some time with this, then the playlist,
Mhm.
then the next day they can go catch that performance,
Mhm.
and then the day after is the Bandcamp Juneteenth day. And then they can rest up so they can go all watch Mackie shows.
Exactly.
Perfect. So one thing I did want to get back to too, when I originally met you, Mackie, it was on the Jam Sessions podcast, and we were going a lot more in depth. If anyone wants to get more background, feel free to go look for those guys as well, because that episode's still out there. And we went over stuff like how you grew up here in Pictou County, and that one was a lot more focused on the Pictou County roots and being from Westville and the West Philadelphia song and
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff, which definitely check it out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that podcast is worth listening to. It's another 45 minutes probably. So when I was interviewing you, I don't even remember if it was part of the episode. I just remember in my memory having the conversation with you. We were talking about we were still in COVID really bad. And it was just things were open a little bit, and then we had a downtime and everything. But we were talking about the Jubilee and representation, and kudos to the whole committee of the Jubilee. Without getting into negative stuff, people that have complaints about the festivals around here over the years that not having representation, no matter what your complaint is, the Jubilee nailed it this year, except for one thing that I personally don't like, is that it's not all ages anymore. And as a Pictou County guy that grew up there,
is it not split down the middle half and half?
they stopped it before COVID. They stopped doing that.
Wow.
It's not even a COVID thing. They stopped that beforehand. I remember talking to our MP, Sean Fraser, about it, and he was saying he has the same memories as me growing up around Pictou County and going to the Jubilee every year, and that was awesome to have these bands, and they don't do that anymore.
Well, we'd like to instill the music into our kids and bring them in the. Anyway, I'll keep my opinions to myself. We'll be professional on the podcast. I won't say that's the dumbest thing that committee ever came up with. I won't say that because that would be unprofessional to call down a local event like that.
Neither one of us would say that on a recording. But that's one thing that I keep bringing back up with guests that I'm talking to off on the side and a couple times on the podcast, and especially where I'm a father. I want my daughter to be able to go to a show with me, and I want her to someday come home and say, can I go to a show with my friends? And I'm going to like, you sure can. That sounds like awesome fun.
I took Riley to Danko Jones.
Yeah.
He was a teenager. He couldn't have went.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I know back then, Mackie actually said to me that if the Jubilee didn't have enough of the rap representation, that should be trying to put something together. And this all ages show that's coming up, I'm like, that's a perfect substitute. Like, I mean, there's other people throwing it together. You had something right lined up. Glasgow Square came through. Yeah. So despite the Jubilee not being all ages, which I still have a point of contention with, but I'm going to have to live with that. The all ages shows that they have going on down at Glasgow Square, the Green Room series is in the evening. You're not going to see a lot of children around, but it's an all ages show. Like if I'm a 16-year-old and I want to go catch some cool performances, I can head down to Glasgow Square on Thursday evening, head down to the back room, sit and enjoy a show for a couple hours. Yeah. And if I have school or work in the morning, they're over by like 9:30. So I mean,
really, it's not even that bad.
Exactly. And now you got this rap one coming up that they're throwing, in which Mackie's part of. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I know that this isn't something that you orchestrate yourself, but you have so much other stuff going on right now than you did a year ago when we met.
Oh, for sure.
I know Andrew and I, we went back to check some notes from the old podcast and review some stuff, and we were aware of the West Philadelphia song when it was out. But now that I'm starting to see it pop all over the place, what's going on the rest of the summer, and who are all of these artists that you're popping up with? When I saw you at Art at Night, you had a whole posse with you. Like everyone was rapping and they all knew Mackie.
Yeah, actually, those were all artists that I've been recording. So Tiny the Rapper, Tristan, aka Twister, and Angel and Julian. And anyways, these three artists have been coming through recording with me. We've been doing, literally for Art at Night, we ended up doing our sets, and then we had about 45 minutes to fill. So the four of us just hopped back and forth and ended up doing like 2-3 times what we were actually originally intending to do on the fly. So that was really fun how it worked out. And for events coming up, there's the first event I'll be throwing and hosting myself will be Hip Hop and Caviar this June 23rd. There's going to be a lot of awesome talent on it. DJ Triljill, she's going to be on it. My girl Mags from Halifax, Paulo, Maddie Shredrick, local classic, Twister, Tiny the Rapper, and Angel. Those three artists that were at Art at Night with me, as well as Shy. So there's going to be a lot of talent on that show. It's I'm trying to bring back the hip hop scene around here, because ever since COVID, everything's kind of been shut down. It really hasn't come back, and it's now that the communes reopen and they have their new location, I absolutely love it. The food's excellent too. I'm just super happy to be starting to throw events there again. So June 23rd, make sure to book your calendars for that.
And that's at the commune?
That's at the commune,
and small plug for the commune. I have been with my daughter to an all ages show there.
Oh, Yeah, true. So I'll have to look into that for an all ages show next after this event. So besides that, everybody knows about the Pictou Lobster Carnival. This year, Classified's going to be headlining it. Tickets are sold out, I do believe. But they do leave, like, obviously it's open to the public, so you still can come through and check out the show.
You could be a creep and hang around outside the fence and still hear a lot of it and probably see some of it. If it's a sold-out show.
Exactly.
Sit up on that hill beyond the
exactly.
person's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely buy a ticket. But if you can't, go to Pictou anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just go to Pictou. But yeah, so me and Jay the Kid will be kicking it. We're gonna have a brand new track. We're gonna be doing for that. Classified July 8th, Lobster Carnival. It's gonna be lit. I'm excited. Opening for a legend. That's what's up, man. Mad respect to Glenn Jackson who approached me at Art at Night actually and offered me the opportunity. So super thankful, excited for what the future holds.
He was a good grab for the Lobster Carnival committee to get in there because he's kicking ass.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
He doesn't do a lot of shows. Like, and when he does do shows, like, it's not like you don't see, like 3 shows in the same community. Like,
Right.
you only see him do like I think he made a post recently and he said, this is my first local show in like so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for, especially for artists that don't, the same as with your mobile studio. If you can't travel all over the place for whatever reason,
Yeah.
then it's hard. But saturating an area sometimes burns people out from bother. They were like, well, they played last week. I could probably wait a month and go see them again. Like
True.
that there is a little burnout.
True.
Maybe not so right now where we haven't had a lot of opportunities to see shows in so long.
I think everyone's kind of going to be like excited to get out and do things. You know what I mean? So for right now, I'm going full tilt, but exactly what you said, like, I don't like, unless I'm going to be performing in a different community, like I don't want to be doing a show every week. Like I mean, I'd love to, like to be on tour, you know what I mean? Go on tour and be doing a show, 4 shows, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd love to do that. But exactly, like you don't want to saturate the market. You want people to, when these events are coming through, to appreciate them and then not to be a dime a dozen. And you know what I mean? And just to put, when they do happen to put that much more effort into them, you know what I mean? So,
Well, and as myself, somebody that I've mentioned several times on here, I think Maddie Grace probably would put me to shame if I were to have a conversation out loud about scenes, but I'm a fan of scenes, and you're in the middle of what I can see as a new emerging scene with all these new rappers. And I was at the Art at Night one, so Angel and Tiny, and that was phenomenal. I hadn't ever heard of them. Maddie, being a local person I've heard of.
oh yeah, Maddie's a classic.
And
you know
Meg's done stuff with you before, so
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I haven't heard any solo stuff, so I'm excited to catch you at the show and see what's going on there.
Oh
too.
yeah, she does a good set. She does. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Meg. She's my girl.
I appreciate the fact that you're kind of helping form this scene emerging again.
Well, it's not just me. It's
yeah,
not
but
just me.
you're assisting. You're in part of it. Yeah.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, shout out to Jay the Kid because like I said, he's the mastermind behind this July 5th show. This is all him,
Yeah.
but June 23rd, this is my baby. You know what I mean? Me and DJ Trill Drill, she's going to be DJing all night. I'm going to be hosting all night. I'm going to kick a quick performance too. But yeah, we're going to team up and we're going to try to start this and bring hip hop back to Pictou County. And yeah,
when we were growing up, we grew up in the 90s for the most part. Our teen years were the 90s. And there was no hip hop scene in Pictou County.
There was Hip Club Groove from Truro.
Yeah.
And I think that is the only, that was the only one that wasn't Halifax based. Eventually we had like Stinkin' Rich, who's $1.65,
Yeah.
and Scratch Bastard and everything. But yeah, like Andrew's saying, there was no rapper from the Glasgow.
When I was in Westville, if you're going to Needs or something and you had anything hip hop, rap, anything like that playing, you'd have to turn your radio down before you parked in case anyone heard you because they would do something to your car. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So the 90s to now, a little bit of a difference.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the racism wasn't systemic at that time. It was obvious.
Oh, literally.
It was regionally.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, like things are so different. Like,
And nothing against the people from there. I know lots of people from there, and that's not everyone. But in general, as a town,
yeah.
there were certain towns that had a vibe.
Westville's still full of a couple bigots there here and there.
And I mean,
You get it everywhere.
Halifax has
Straight
everything
up.
in one area. It's more pronounced in smaller communities.
Yeah, it
when
is.
you see it.
It is for sure. Oh, that small town mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to Andrew's point, I mean, the world's not perfect yet, but it's been a relatively small number of years. I mean, it's been a few decades, but that concept, even anyone that noticed your reaction when we were talking about, that sounds foreign. But that would even be an obvious issue when you went into a town that anyone would have any problem with. It's not race. It's the association with culture that is different from what they want. So even the rap culture alone was weird.
Oh,
until fashion, the fashion of hip hop and what was labeled as grunge at the time kind of merged at one point, and so it just became okay to wear new metal clothes like your Korn and everything with the big baggy pants and super long shirts and everything.
I had a
It's way
Marilyn
too big.
Manson shirt, the one with the logo or the middle finger, and then I weighed like 110 pounds, and I had size 38 maroon corduroy pants, and had to like bring the waist way in big baggy ass pants and my Marilyn Manson t-shirt. So we kind of merged the styles at that time.
But and you stood out back then. If you were influenced by anything and try to do it, you stood out as someone. Oh, I like these things immediately, like you were stereotyped. So it's phenomenal that you can just go downtown to Glasgow now, have a whole line of shows going, and then there's festivals coming and people are playing in all different communities, and it's just normal now. It's awesome.
For sure. I grew up in I was born in 92, so don't do the math, but But yeah, anyways, like the scene, like even when I was growing up around here, as a teenager, every single weekend there was a show at one of the youth centers. You know what I mean? And everyone was going, and like those shows were always lit. It wasn't hip hop. It was mostly like metal and like punk and stuff like that. But every single weekend there, like pretty much every single weekend there was a show.
That's where scenes are born from, because as those people that have that community age and develop what they like and their own sounds, and then start working together and meeting people from other communities, then you have the new scene of that region. So I mean, there's a very good chance that a lot of these names you're listing off in the next couple of years, they might be people we wish would allow us to interview them.
Yeah. Oh, by all means. Yeah, for sure. Like there's a lot of talented artists that I work with. Like it's incredible. You know what I mean? Like it literally, like it's one of those things that fuels me too. Like after I do a studio session with an artist and they, you know what I mean? Like after I do the mix and stuff like that has me motivated to be like, oh my God, like I want to go write a song that's like, you know, that slaps, that gets stuck in my head the way this song is. Like I did this, Angel, I did one of her songs there a couple days ago, and literally like for the last 3 days, the hook of the song has been stuck in my head. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I'm definitely really excited to see where the scene does develop into, because even when I was in high school, like when I was 17, like I just have like I rented out a trailer and we basically just trapped there, and I just, you know, me and my friends, we'd have some drinks and we'd just freestyle, and that's what we did, and like that's, you know what I mean. But like I remember I did a performance at like North Nova, oh geez, forever ago, like easily a decade ago. But yeah, like there was no hip hop scene, you know what I mean? There was always bands and stuff like that, like when I was in school, but there was nobody doing hip hop. You know what I mean? To see all these young kids coming up on the scene that are, you know, a lot of these kids are just freshly graduated. Some of them are still in high school, and they already have that, you know, they've already been doing it. They're putting music out and stuff. I'm like, damn, like.
Selfishly, I'm curious, out of that list, I know when we talked originally too, I was talking about playing over a produced beat that's already been pre-produced and you're rapping over top of it versus having a live band. So are any of these other people that you're working with, are any of them using any live performance with them at the time, or is it like what I saw at Art at Night was awesome?
Yeah.
but I'm just curious. There's a lot of different rap styles that I heard. Like there's a little bit of diversity there, but for the sound styles, is it all stuff that is pre-produced and put through the system with people rapping over top of it, or is there going to be...
Oh no, there's going to be real instruments for sure.
So a little mixture of everything, so everyone gets every flavor.
Yeah, my good buddy Jesse Patrick and his
that's what I was trying to get you to do.
His brother Tyler Daniels. Anyways, they have a band, Brothers in Groove, and so Jesse came through. He recorded some guitar. We're gonna be working on a blues hip hop fusion track.
Sweet.
Awesome.
There's also my buddy Aaron, who he came through, and I was recording a bit of guitar. I'm gonna actually get him to. I was talking to him because I have a couple artists that I work with, and they want to get working with real instrumentation. Not only that, but I want to get working with real instrumentation behind the beats, like a real guitar, real drums, so that when I do go play a show, I could have, somebody sitting there on the drum set, somebody sitting there on the guitar, plus me be up on stage, right? So, in the future, you can definitely expect to see some of that. Yeah.
There might even be someone on our TV here looking right at you that likes to do a few riffs here and there. So.
Oh, for sure. Hit me up.
Record riff, leave and folder, never write entire song. That's my thing.
That she might be able to take the threads of that and turn it into a full song with the beats and everything. Exactly. So that might actually be a perfect marriage of artistic talent there. Yeah. She might be able to just take what you have and finish it off for you.
Yeah.
True.
So I do that a lot too. I'll write and then I'll just pick little pieces here and there and piece it all together.
Piece it all back together.
Yeah.
So we're getting near the end of the time there now. So where can people find you online about your recording studio, your music? What do you want to plug?
My mobile studio is Mackie's Mobile Studio. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. The .com site is currently in the works. It hasn't launched yet. As far as social media goes, you can find me on YouTube, Mackie Music, Instagram, Mackie Music, Facebook, Jordan Mackie. You can look me up on Spotify. My most recent project was Route 237. I have a new single that's going to be dropping soon with a music video called Raw. That's going to be deep. It's going to be a lot deeper than my last album for sure. More.
So that's a single from a future album, not a single from
because
I know the last album.
Upcoming.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Oh, I got a whole artillery of finished tracks mixed and mastered.
Sweet.
And I'm just sitting on them. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting on them waiting.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
If anyone wants to find us online, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter. We're there. YouTube and any podcatcher. And we'll have a link to some of Mackie's stuff down there in the comment section as well on that. We're going to close out the episode with one of Mackie's songs, Hakuna Matata. Anything you want to say about this song before we jump out?
Oh, all right. So there's something to be expected with this song. I got a little something else coming with this. There's going to be a remix coming with an artist on it. I'm not going to name the artist, but I'm very excited about releasing this. It's going to be dope.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Well, thanks for coming on and talking to us.
Oh, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
And here is Hakuna Matata.
It means no worries.
By Mackie.
See ya.
Rip what I just hit. I'm tying up loose ends. I am not new to this. I've been improving quick. So go kick back, relax, stay focused while you watching this. I've done some stupid shit, but I've come back from it. Back on the road like runoff. She melts my heart like butter. Anything that I want, wanna. Hakuna Matata. Everybody wanna be in first place, but nobody wanna work, they thirsty. I put in the work on the worst days. Feeling like every day's my birthday. Back on the road like runoff. She melts my heart like butter. Anything that I want, wanna. Hakuna Matata. Now I'ma go get a trendsetter. Don't tell them I'm better. Slick talker, 10 figures to put up in your bitch. Go smell them. I do what I want when I want to. Try to talk me down, you dumb dude. If you chalk it up, I'm short fuse. When I'm dead, my trust gon' haunt you. Gotta kick some habits, huh? But I run right back to them. They're comfortable and fun, try to do it, but it's done. Yeah. Ain't no worries when some people turn on friends. Become foes in the end. It is what it is at best. Get it in like basketball. If it fits, she wears a glove. Get big and collect the funds. I'm set in stone while y'all collecting dust. Back on the road like Runnel. She melts my heart like butter. Anything that I want, wanna. Hakuna Matata. Everybody wanna be in first place, but nobody wanna work, they thirsty. I put in the work on the worst days. Feeling like every day's my birthday. Back on the road like Runnel. She melts my heart like butter. Anything that I want, wanna. Hakuna Matata. Now I'm a go-getter, trendsetter. Don't tell them I'm better. Slick talk, good 10 figures to put up in your bitch. Go smell them. Back on the road like Runnel. She melts my heart like butter. Anything that I want, wanna.